we're not doing the ring setup today. I have my period. I am uncomfortable, and I had to turn off my fan because I did not want the wind to pick up. So, today we are doing a review of Legendborn. This took up my entire month of October. If you're watching this now, it is November. I want to say it's November 3rd. I'm probably going to upload it by then. Um, and the things I have to say about this book is insane. First of all, wow, I was shocked. The story takes place is about a girl named Bree. Oh, by the way, um, spoilers will happen. If you haven't seen a Bookworm Book Club by now, yes, this is a Bookworm Book Club video. You will know that this will be very spoiler heavy because if I like the book, I'm not gonna fucking. I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say. I did not know what to expect because this book was explained to me like it was a female led Harry Potter. And I immediately went, give me more, please. Black led female Harry Potter? Yes, all of that. Thank you. What I failed to realize that it is so much more than that. This book is Knights of the Round Table with a trial and so much other shit involved. So we follow the story of Bree, who recently lost her mother during the summer, and now she is 16 years old, and she's able to go to Carolina. Now, this is set in the South, um, I believe in the Carolinas, and I was trans fucking fixed, because a lot of books don't necessarily want to write with inherent racism in fantasy because like not realistic racism. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen. It happened in this book and I appreciated it for it. It was done tastefully, it was done the right way, and it was something that had to be said. So Brianna is trying to deal with the loss of her mother and trying to grieve, and her best friend Alice Chen, who I will get into in a little bit because I have some shit to say about Alice. I'm glad she progressed the way I was hoping she would, but I have things to say. Anyway, we find that she goes to this party at this quarry at the Carolina on a quarry, um and she applied to she's still 16 in high school, but there's a program in her high school that they can do junior, I think like junior and senior year they can go to Carolina and do college credits, which is I think is a really cool plan, honestly. If that happened in high school, I would have done it sooner. Then again, my grade point average was not the best. In the interim of this, um, her and Alice, her best friend, Bree's best friend, Alice Chen, decides that they're going to go to a party at the quarry. And all hell breaks loose on a cliff when they see like this weird animal beast thing come out of nowhere from a gate. And then we enter into our first character, Selwyn Tor. Selwyn Kane and Tor. Selwyn fucking Kane. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know if I like him or not. I think I do, but like he is a king's mage who is basically part demon. And he is the king's mage to Sir Nicholas, which you will see you will understand in a moment, Nick Davis. There are so many things that happen in the situation where the fight breaks out and Cell decides to control a couple of things. Like immediately you get like immediate Snape vibes from this man, like in the first book come of Snape vibes, and I'm ready to obstruct. Like I want to hit him real bad. His candor, his arrogance, his need to feel correct on everything is so fucking annoying. I want to punch him and slug him at every point in cost because he has a power of called mesmer, which is um a power to erase minds and memories of certain things. And it's kind of like the Men in Black situation, only no machine, just magic. The magic in the air is called aether. The girls get caught. They almost get kicked out of school. Her father, Bree's father, is like, "You're getting looked after by the dean." The dean is an asshole, a white man, no less, and is like very adamant for the fact that she's here only because of she meets the requirements for the program, but like if she didn't meet the program requirements, we wouldn't want her there because she's a black lady. Racism in the South, am I right? So now here's the situation where she gets sent to the dean's office and they're telling her that she will now need supervision. A kid named Nick Davis is given all of her information, and Alice Chen is pissed. Now, let me be clear. There were two people who said they want to go to this party. And then immediately in the first, 10 pages of this book, Alice is a bitch. Like, straight up fucking bitch. And I wanted to hit her on so many levels. Like, a real bitch slap. Like, you. Like, I understand that they're in high school still on a technicality. But, like, you said yes to this too, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you said yes to it. Where is it just Allison's fault? Because I don't believe that. Where is it just Brianna's fault? Because it's not. It's not Bri's fault. So she gets taken to Nick, and Nick has a liking. Like, Nick automatically is trying to like her. She does not like him, and for good reason. He's a pretty boy, blonde boy, who is, you know, like all American, what you expect in these books. Sorry, I'm also dehydrated as hell, and I'm trying to be a good houseplant. So, what are you gonna do? I forget how it happens because I have a memory disorder, but she ends up realizing that Nick is part of Knights of the Round Table. There she meets Sel, William, their healer, and learn that Aether is a part of their magic. They are gifted this, but they are um, betrothed, however have you, by King Arthur himself and Lancelot. And you learn along the way of that these animals that come through, hellhounds, hell foxes, all them, they have other names for them which I cannot pronounce. Luckily, in the back of this book, there is a fucking dictionary, because I did not realize in this chonker of a goddamn book that there was a fucking dictionary of what it is. Thank God, because that is a gripe I have with this book, but that'll come later. She realizes like, she has this theory in her head that the order which Nick is a part of, who is a part of the order of Knights of the Round Table, thinks that they're the reason that her mother was killed in a car accident. To their credit, it's a pretty good damn theory, because a lot of things link up with the order and her mom. And along the way, she realizes that she meets her therapist that her father is forcing her to do. Her name's Patricia, who I think she's just the most motherly, warm person I've ever seen in a book in my life. And I I don't know how to feel about that, and see that beautifulness in a woman. If you've never had a caring situation with a mom, you'll understand. But it's really, really rad. Uh, I I loved Patricia, but I think she pushed a little too hard in the beginning. But that is only because Patricia knew her mother. Her mother went to Carolina. Her and her mom, Brianna and her mom, had fought incessantly about her going to Carolina and that it wasn't a good idea, and she forbid it. And when her mom died, she did it anyway in spite of her. I think in some ways she just did it. In my personal opinion, I think she applied to Carolina because she wanted to be closer to her mother. And who would want to be closer to a relative that they were close to for a while and want to love them? And you know what I mean? Like, there's just some things. If I had the chance to get to know my mom on a different level than I did previously, and bring her back just for that exact situation, I do it in a heartbeat. So I understand the decision to do that. As for Alice, they're kind of in a rocky situation until there's an eventuality as well that Nick and Bree start dating. Not like an enemies to lovers, but enough, I think. I don't know, like it was trying to write Nick and her as an enemies to lover, but I don't think it was more like an annoyance to lovers, and I enjoy that situation. Eventually you find out some things. Um Eventually you find out the twist of the situation. I'm not going to uh tell you what the twist is because it's unfair, but I want you guys to read this book because it was so well written. While yes, this is a lot of content. 430 something pages, I believe. Um Officially the page count is 501 because of the glossary and all that. Um I think I had the bestseller edition. I don't remember which one I got from Barnes and Noble. And you guys know that I'm not normally a paperback girly, but this was all that was, and this was one of my gifts for my birthday that my husband so generously bought for me that I love that man to death. Um, it was a lot of content. I'm not gonna lie. I had to barrel through this thing. It was hard. It was like trying to push through when I was reading the fifth and sixth Harry Potter books. There were almost 600 pages of shit. It was so a lot of it could have been cut and you would still get a good content of this. You would get a lot of the story. Um and I feel like when writers write like this, there's such excessive content that some of it just didn't be needed. The way things that could have been described could have been cut at least 2 or 3 pages worth, in my opinion. But I'm not the author, but I am just a fan of reading. Uh, I believe there is an LGBTQ point to this as well, that there is kind of like a love triangle in some ways. Selwyn Kane is bisexual, which is like really cool. But I don't know, I guess I wanted to see more of that. I'm so used to like straight fucking love that I'm done with that. I'd like to see more gay shit. I think that's why I like Caitlin Barron a little more because a lot of her love interests are lesbian or gay, which is so great. Um, I'm I'm kind of overseeing the mainstream. I don't know how else to put it. I'm a part of the LGBTQIA community. Uh, I am bi, so I would like to see more representation for myself. So that's something as a Latino and who is not straight, I just want more. I'm greedy. I want more representation. What can I say? Alice Chen. Let's talk about it. This girl is the most insufferable best friend of a character I have ever seen in all my fucking life. When I tell you that the blame she did, and I get that like Alice had to lie for a lot of the different reasons too, because she couldn't just come out and say that she's a blood crafter. There's Root involved. Root is slave women's magic, if the best way I can put it. Um, like this is she is the most critical bitch I've ever seen in my life. It is only when she starts dating freaking um when she starts dating Nick Davis, who's the other main character of our story, um, she totally changes her tune. She's so supportive of their relationship. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm sorry. I know this is a young adult book. Don't get me wrong. I think if I was 16 reading that, I know for a fact of who I am as a person, I would have been pissed. Like, I don't have many gripes with this book, which makes no sense to me at all. I have nothing bad to say, with the exception of like like, I think Selwyn Kane could have his paranoia towards Brianna could have been cut in half. Like, it could have been cut in half. The length of the book is insane. And like, I I personally cannot read that much. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. No one I know, unless they're like, then again, I know people who have read 400, 500 books in a year, which is incredible. And I don't know, I wish I could do that. But regardless, the length of it for some people is daunting. That is why in the next book I'm probably going to get it on my Kindle, so it'll be um less of a strain, number one, and number two, less of feeling like overwhelming is the word I want to use. Because I get a thrill and a joy of cracking the book open and like seeing where I am in the book, but when you use this book and read it fully in the thing, um you feel like you've made a dent and you look at the thing and you're like, "Oh no, I did not." Like, I looked at the middle, like where I am lengthwise in the books, and you feel like you've gotten nowhere. I think I'm a more of a short reader. Maybe that's just me, but um I don't know how much I feel like this tested me as a chunk of a book. It is a chonker, but that doesn't negate the fact how much fun I had reading it. Despite the fact of Alice Chetton being a whole ass, um, I have I had fun learning about the characters, learning the twists, where the story was going. It was so rich. I have to say, Tracy Dion did such a good job in making sure the characters were fully fledged out. You didn't feel like there were any plot holes. You didn't feel like you were missing anything, and if you were missing something, it was intentional, and you know that because it's driven to the story. I feel as though she was very good at describing people. I wasn't lost. I didn't have to reread things. It wasn't dumbed down for the reader, but it wasn't unintelligent either. You can tell that she took care in the writing that she made and that she cared about the story, that she cared about every little thing she did for writing this book. From the artwork to the words to the depiction of the character she wanted you to see, everything was amazing. Oh, her grandmother. Oh my god. Her grandmother reminded me of my nonna, and it was fucking fantastic. I can't begin to tell you how much I love that. Um it really made me feel connected in a weird way. And this is all based on like black history and like um black historical fiction, I should say, in some ways. And it really touches, and I really love it touches on racism in some really interesting ways. Um, and she's not afraid to go there. And the topic of slavery comes up towards the back end of the book and gives an understanding of why that the black people that come to the Order Lodge house were only serving and serving their food and making sure they're cleaning up. Like some of that shit has not changed. And when Brianna walks in and lies to get in and say that Nick told her to stand there, you know where it is. It A lot of people are shocked when she walks in and feels like she doesn't belong there. When in actuality, that is highly false. So what's the verdict? Obviously, I loved it. It is a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend anyone who, if you want to read something like this, go fucking do it because it was incredible. I was I I was so happy with how it was done and the way it was done, and I need the second book. It's a series book. And the series book, the second one I think is Blood blood marked? Hold on. Let me just double check. Please hold. So this is the second book, and it's on sale for $1. Yesterday night it was $10. I'm buying it right now. So I have the second book now. Literally last night it was $10 and I wasn't going to buy it. I was gonna wait. Um Now it's mine. Blood Marked is the second book, but I am now actually reading um my next book right now is The Perfect Sister by Stephanie DeCarlos. My friend's sister actually has written this book. It is the fourth in the line of a couple of thrillers she's written, done a couple of book tours. So I want to support my friends back home. But yeah, go get Legendborn and start the series and let me know what you think. I will be hopefully posting regularly soon since unfortunately TikTok is going to be closing its doors on January 19th. At least that's what Mama Casas has explained. So I will try to upload primarily more here. If you guys like whatever I'm doing, you can follow all the socials down there. And I love your faces. Thank you for being so supportive and following and watching. And to the haters out there that leave those hate comments, thank you, because you're boosting me regardless. Yeah. Oh, and before I forget, the other book I'm going to read this year, if anything, I might start in January. This is The Antique Hunter's Guide to a Murderer by C.J. Miller. This is definitely I was at work. I work in a Sam's Club. I'm a store and store, and I saw this and I was like, well, this needs to be in my fucking realm. I'm not a paperback girly, but like, how could I not? So that is what I've read, what I'm reading now, and what I'm reading next. Hope you guys enjoy this content, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Why did I pause? I don't know. Bye!